Hey, this is Gino, and you're listening to 90 Day Fiancé Fridays.
Welcome, everybody, to an all new Happily Ever After season Sunday night show with the 90 Day Fiancé Fridays posse. What's cracking?
What's up? What's up, everybody?
Hey, everybody.
Oh, was this Tom Cruise or was this Tom Cruise?
This was a Tom Cruise episode. It was everything I expected it to be. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it could have been better because given what we were working with, this was what we were going to get. Right? If that makes sense. We weren't going to get anything better because we didn't have anything to work with. It's like we didn't have the ingredients to make a steak. So I couldn't expect a good steak, right?
Yeah, it was kind of like par for the course in a way, and with a couple sand traps in there.
Yeah, I mean, look, we got what we got, and I got some fun tweets out of it, so I'm happy about that. But no, it really wasn't anything to talk about. Oh, we didn't get any Tiger Puff and Adnan tonight, so I guess they're saving the absolute worst for last, right? So we didn't get them tonight.
We didn't get Brandon and Julia.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize we were missing them until it went off and they showed them in the preview and I was like, "Oh man, talk about like you watch the preview and you get excited." I when I saw that we didn't get them, I was like upset because I was like, "Damn, this was hard enough to get through. Now I'm going to have to sit through Brandon and Julia." Like I thought this was hard enough.
Mhm. And then, well, the elephant in the room, and it's like one of those things though, it's like it could be a whole, I don't even know how to like approach it, but the elephant in the room is like I hung out with Gino yesterday.
Well, yeah, which was a long time coming, right? Like this was something that y'all have been trying to do for a while.
Yeah, so we have been trying to do for a while, and the moons align, and like we could dedicate a whole like Patreon specific show for that experience. But then it becomes the murky waters is like then I would have to figure out like what I could discuss and what I can't discuss. So it's very like awkward.
Well, yeah, if he told you something that is NDA worthy, yeah, I wouldn't talk about it. I wouldn't betray Gino in that way, you know?
Gino's
Yeah, you don't want to fuck up that trust.
he's approaching, I guess at this point he's there, but he's in the Liz territory of like, oh, now I got to figure out what I could say, what I can't say, this, that, and other. But I will say that certain things like number one, it was amazing hanging out with Gino. I don't want to get into specifics, but he did have someone with him, but I'm not going to say who he was with. But either way, let's stick to Gino for now. It was great finally seeing Gino in person. We hung out, we were at like a hotel bar near me, and we were drinking, eating food, chatting it up, having a good time. And he definitely like comes across cooler and like more aura in person than the show. He's he's way smoother and like he's less dorky than he is on TV. He's like he was the man kind of.
I mean, it's weird. A lot of people always say that when they meet people in person. They're like, you're so much more like interesting and cool and attractive in person than you are on TV. I wonder what it is about cameras that makes people seem really bland. Right? Because every time people meet somebody in person, they're like, "You're way more attractive in person," or they didn't do you justice. I wonder what it is about cameras that takes away people's aura, right? Like it's really weird because you can't really see it on TV, but when you meet them in person, it's always different.
Well,
Yeah.
you also have editing as well from TLC on TLC's side.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of Gino, we saw the aftermath of when he kicked Jasmine out of the house. And if anyone knows, that was around January, February of 2024. So that's when filming started.
Mhm.
And that's kind of, and this was prior to the Last Resort's filming because a lot of people were really confused on Twitter because they were like, I'm confused. Jasmine's not pregnant, but this was right before the tell all. So they played a clip of her right before the tell all when she walked out pregnant. And then they started their segment, which was kind of confusing on their part because a lot of people on X were like, I'm confused. She was just pregnant in that clip. Now she's not pregnant. That was kind of like a 3 months earlier or 6 months earlier, but they didn't. specify it well. Like it did say so many months early, but a lot of people it went over their head. So yeah, that was January, February of 2024 when she went and picked up Matt from the airport and they were at his house. That's going all the way back to then. And then that was before they filmed The Last Resort. So that's kind of why Gino was acting really weird with her and he didn't want to sleep in the same room with her. It's because she was living with Matt 3 months prior to them showing up at the resort. So it kind of answers a few of those questions.
Yeah. And then one of my tweets I said was like, I think I said something along the lines of like Matt. Well, I mean, let me pull it up because I don't want to botch my own tweets. But I was talking about Matt's personality. Let me just see real quick. Oh, you know what I did? I probably like posted a tweet and then in the caption of the tweet on Instagram, I added, oh, that's what it was. Okay. Oh yeah, here's the tweet I was looking for. It was the Instagram caption talking about the tweet. So I basically said Jasmine fell in love with a guy with the personality of a clearance rack rice cake, which would be Matt.
That's actually hilarious. One thing I noticed tonight is he thinks that he's funny.
Mhm.
And you ever notice, and the only person that ever laughs at his jokes is him. He even repeats them to see if she missed it and she still doesn't laugh. Because I was like, you're not funny, dude. Like, just chill. You're not hilarious. You're not funny. You don't even have like an outgoing personality. Like, funny people at least are fun. Like, you're not even fun. Like, chill.
And then you know what? This is like minutia that only like five people in the world would notice and be annoyed by, and I guess I'll be one of the five people. But it was annoying, and I hate to even mention it, but it was annoying me that when they were in Matt's house or whatever, that they kept flashing to like Jasmine's protein powder, but the label was like turned away from the camera. But it just annoyed me that the product placement was there.
Well, it's weird. It can't be a product placement if you're gonna blur out the label.
Yeah, like it wasn't blurred out. It was just like the backside of the container was there, but it's
Oh, okay. So they
still.
blur out. Yeah, that is annoying because any other cast member they wouldn't let them do that. But I don't know why. She's like their little pet. They like love to love her, and I don't get it. I really don't get it.
And then let's jump around. But like, what did you think of a Natalie?
I mean, I think she's pretty.
Hmm.
I don't know. I think I tweeted out like I don't know enough about her, but I like her because
Hmm.
I was like, she seems nice, but she's not a lying, cheating whore, so she's automatically like fine in my book, but I need to learn more about her. But she's already better than Jasmine because she's not a lying, cheating whore. So she already has like a lot of extra points in her favor in my corner. But based on what I saw, a lot of people online were like, "Oh, she looks like a groupie. She looks like somebody that wants to be with him because he's on TV." But I think it's way too early for me to make that determination.
Hmm.
One thing I will say, Gino smiled more in that segment with her than I've seen him smile in the last 3 seasons of the show. So I'm just
Yeah, like, and when they were kissing, it was like a hot and heavy kiss.
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna just say that I think that he looks more happy. He's smiling more, and like I said, the whole time he was filming with Jasmine, he had that mean like look on his face, and I was like, he's been smiling and acting like he's having a good time, and they were drinking out of ice titties. Like it just seemed like there was a different vibe. Gino seemed more fun, more relaxed, more laid back, and I think that's because he's with someone that he just doesn't hate, right? And that changes you when you're around somebody that you hate. You act a certain type of way, and I think Gino is reacting to not being around somebody that he hates.
Yeah, it was like it seems like a weight was lifted off Gino where it doesn't have to be on like pins and needles or like on eggshells, like worrying, you know how Jasmine will get upset about anything. He doesn't have to worry about like upsetting his date.
Well, right, exactly. I mean, it's too early to know what's going on with this chick because a lot of people are like, "Oh, she DM'd him, so she likes the show." Yeah, that happens, but at the end of the day, we got to give her a chance. We gave Jasmine a chance, like we got to give her a chance. We have to see how this goes. At the end of the day, though, I just want Gino to be happy because I feel like he was dealt a really rough set of cards. So I
Mhm.
definitely want to see Gino pan out in a decent relationship with a decent human being that doesn't need a green card. Like that's like my biggest thing. Oh, and I put out this tweet So I know Jasmine blocked me, so she'll never know. But I was like, the tweet was like, the one thing that gets me about Jasmine is that she refused to leave her dog in Panama, but she left both of her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, how is that? Because you remember, she was like, I cannot leave this dog. There's no way I'm leaving this dog. This dog is like my life, my child. She left her actual children in Panama and didn't even blink. But she told Gino that there was no chance she would leave that country without her dog. So that's what's crazy for me about her, because that shows me everything that I need to know about her based on that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll go on record. I'm a Natalie fan. I think she's like a breath of fresh air in Gino's life, and I don't feel she's a clout demon, clout whore, but yeah, so I think I don't know. To me, it seems I know it sounds like maybe I'm being naive, and I could be. And when it comes to love, we know based on the mahogany catfish, I could be naive, but I feel like a real romance.
I mean, maybe Shabooty. I mean, maybe, it's too soon to be sure, but the rose is budding into something, right? Like, it's too soon to know what it's budding into. It could be a thorn or it could be a rose. We don't know, but it's definitely budding into something. I will give you that.
True. So there's that, and yeah, at some point we'll have to do like a Patreon exclusive auxiliary show. We can get a little bit more in the weeds, if you know what I mean. So that's always on the table.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down to do that.
Mhm.
True.
For the subscribers, we're always down to give them a little extra, a little extra.
Yeah, and then did you see my tweet? It was a little edgy in terms of like the political landscape, but I basically was talking about Jasmine's obsession with alligators, and I said it was a screenshot when I said when she says so I get deported or something, and then I said Jasmine loves gators so much. What if she ends up in alligator Alcatraz?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So yeah, that just opened, right? And it's open for businesses now accepting um residents, and Jasmine is a resident of Florida as far as I heard. So it's technically possible she could end up there, because we found out that Gino went to immigration and was trying to get her deported. And we know that that's not a guarantee, because Danielle tried that with Muhammad, it didn't work. Um, who else did it? A couple of other people tried it too. It's really difficult to get them deported after they get here, but I love that he tried. Right? I love that he tried. Like, I'm an A for effort, just for showing up and telling them to take her away. I'm just happy he tried.
True, yeah. Well, Jasmine and Matt, they gotta in this climate, they gotta be on their P's and Q's, like no physicality, if you know what I mean. Like they gotta be on the up and up.
Oh yeah, they both are immigrants, right? I didn't think about that. Yeah, you're right. And the ICE situation in Florida is a little crazy. Like, they're just showing up at random places and just deporting everybody. So you're right. They got to be very, very careful to be on their best behavior and go under the radar. But I mean, going on TV and showing that you're using someone for a green card is probably not the best course of action to be under the radar, because showing the world that you married one guy and you're pregnant and having a baby with another, that's not necessarily something you want people to see, but she went and filmed it for the whole world, so let's see how it goes.
That's some Jerry Springer shit.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like you don't want people to think you're committing immigration fraud, allegedly, so you go on TV while you do it. So it's like fully documented for the world to see. Like, only Jasmine would do something like that.
Yeah, she better hope she has some fans high up in the administration.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. There's not a lot of fans of, like, foreigners in that administration for some reason. There's not a whole lot. I don't know. I'm not a part of it. I didn't vote for these people. So don't put me in that. I'm just saying there's not a lot of people fighting for immigrants in that administration.
True. All right, let's see. Who have we not talked about yet?
Well, we kind of have to put a lot of this shit together, because Libya and Dre and Jovi and Yara and Lauren and Alexi, they were kind of all fused together.
Mhm.
So it was like
Oh,
very.
you poor guys, what you had to watch today. My lord.
But it's weird though, because they were all fused together. Like, they didn't really get their own segments. their segments were together. So we saw that Lauren and Alexi, they bought their house, which we knew. They moved out of the condo, they bought their house. They had a little housewarming get together with Jovi and Yara and what's his name? Andre and Libby and that girl that's like their good friend or
Yeah,
whatever.
that's what I was gonna ask about. Is that like Lauren's friend?
Yeah, Lauren's friend or cousin. I don't remember specifically what it said. I think her name was like Hoka or
It
Hosa.
was like it was like Noga or something.
Noga or something. Yeah, I've seen her before. So this
Mhm.
isn't the first time she's popped up. I'm pretty sure when I was attempting to watch Lauren and Alexi after the 90 days, I'm pretty sure I saw her. So she's not like new. She's always been there. And they had their little get together and um what's her name? Libby and Andre are pushing their fake Moldova story. And then she actually came clean on tonight's episode. She's like, "Well, yeah, we're moving there, but we're gonna go there for a visit first." And I was like, "Of course you are. That's literally what everyone does." Remember when Shekinah was moving to Turkey? She moved there, but she was only there for 3 weeks. You always fake a visit or you fake a move and disguise it as a visit so they can film you over there, but you're not actually gonna go. So they actually came clean. They were like, "Well, we're gonna go over there and see what it's like." And I was like, "You already been there." I was like, "You already know what it's like. You had a whole Moldovan wedding. Like, what do you need to go over there and test it out for? You were there. You didn't like it. You're never gonna move there. Stop selling us this bullshit." So this is the storyline that they're pushing. And it seemed like Lauren and Alexi don't really have a storyline. If I,
Mhm.
or did you catch that? Because I was waiting for their storyline and I didn't really get anything. So did you get anything from them? Because they got a new place,
Mhm.
um, they got a bunch of kids, and they didn't really say what their conflict was.
Yeah, their storyline is they have a new house, she has new braces, and she has an annoying best friend.
Well, yeah, there was no conflict because I was waiting because Lauren or Libby and Andre he wants to move to Moldova. Livy doesn't. And Jovi and Yara, I haven't really noticed their conflict, but they did mention that they want to have another kid. So I'm assuming that they're not going to see eye to eye on that, and that's what they're going to fight about. But I didn't catch why Lauren and Alexi were there because my tweet was like, "Oh, look, Lauren and Alexi are here. No reason whatsoever. They're just present." Because there's no conflict, there's no reason for them to be there. And I think that might be why they fused those scenes together because they didn't really have anything to work with. So they were like, "Well, you can just be in Libby and Andre scene. We don't have anything for you to do. You can just fuse yourself into that." And then they got into arguments with them about the Moldova stuff, and that kind of made them relevant in this episode, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, even though it's like three couples, there really isn't much to talk about there. But let's switch over to like Guillermo and Cara. So that was interesting seeing how they were all that marriage was going to hell in a handbasket and they were sleeping in separate rooms and then did you notice like at the end of the episode, like the preview for the later episodes where it suggested that like Cara probably cheated on Guillermo?
I did. Isn't it funny? Because I'm gonna say I said in an earlier
Hmm.
episode, I don't know when this was. I told you I was like, I think Kara is probably going to, and guys, don't come at me because I love Kara, but I was like, I think that at some point she would cheat on him
Hmm.
because the situation. And let's just be real, Kara's hot and she doesn't have to sleep alone if she doesn't want to. And if she can't make it work with Guillermo, I was like, I think that their marriage might have ended because she found somebody better. So I don't want to like say that I knew, but I kind of called that. I figured as much. Cause I was like, she's hot. Why the hell would she be sleeping alone? Why does she have to deal with this dude? She could just literally bang anybody, right? Like, there's no reason why she has to deal with this guy. But I will say this, my opinion, it's not popular, but I think it's crazy that Kara thought that this like waiter that she met was gonna come over here and be a sole provider for her. Like, he has the attitude of like a pool boy, right? Like he's never gonna make more than $11 an hour. He's always gonna have a whole bunch of dreams, and he's always gonna not accomplish any of them. That's kind of his attitude. Like he's just something to look at, right? And I thought that she was aware that she married something to look at, kind of like Darcy with Georgie. She married something to look at. Georgie is never gonna buy her a Hermes bag. Okay, he's never gonna buy her a Birkin bag. He's never gonna be able to afford shit. But I thought that Kara had accepted the fact that she was with somebody like that, but I guess she had never thought that. She thought that he was always going to be more. And I think that she built herself up to be let down.
Yeah, and I want to echo your sentiments as far as like the cheating thing. I would bet money the farm that basically was the kind of the typical cliche thing that happens, which is the marriage went to shit. Like she kind of fell out of love. Then she probably had an emotional friend and had an emotional affair, and then basically broke up with the Guillermo and then fucked the guy she was having an emotional affair with.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, she's sleeping alone. She's working every day to take care of this dude who quit his job so he could enroll in $60,000 um flight school. She definitely was confiding in somebody. I'm assuming she confided in some dude maybe at work. She's a real estate agent or maybe a producer that's helping her work on music. And she eventually confided in him, and confiding ended up in to banging. So yeah, and I'm pretty, but I don't blame her for that. It's like she was looking to be in a relationship with a husband, and she married a boy, and a boy can't,
Married a man child.
yeah, a child can't take care of a family, so she was never going to be fulfilled. Once a woman sleeps in another room from you, she is done with you. Like the well has run dry. She doesn't want to deal with you in any way, shape, fashion, form. Once a woman decides that you can't be in the bed with her anymore, you might as well just pack your shit and go. There's no coming back from that. Like once she decided that he's not even enough of a man to be in the bed with her, that marriage was already over.
Yeah, you could tell she was so fucking over him during the whole filming of that.
It kind of looked like I don't want to say this because I don't know for sure. It kind of looked like, because when the Family Chantel the last season aired, they were already broken up and they had already moved out, and they went and refilmed it. They made it seem like he was still living there and he wasn't. I was like, I wonder if they went back and refilmed it. He was already out of the house.
Mhm.
But they had to go back because production needed it to make sense. So they probably made them film some stuff together. And I was like, I wonder if that's why she looks so mad and awkward sitting next to him. Because I was like, I'm getting that weird vibe, like she doesn't really want to be there. And I was like, I wonder if they did the Chantel Pedro thing where they went back after the fact and recreated it.
Like that makes sense in the with the scene where they went to their separate bedrooms to like pretend like they're going to sleep. Whereas
Yeah, right. Like I don't know. I just got that vibe. I was like, I'm getting a weird vibe from this. Like they like kind of like with Gino and Jasmine, where they made it seem like Gino hadn't kicked her out, and when they got to the resort, they were still living together, but they weren't. So like they had to go back to make it make sense. So they recreated the scenes to make it, like this was what was going on. But yeah, I don't think so. I think that they had been. She had already. I don't know if she kicked him out or if he left or whatever, but I think he was already gone. But they were like, well, this has to make sense. We can't start the scenes with him living somewhere else. People aren't, the last time we saw y'all were having a baby, so that it won't make sense. So they had to do it.
like even and I'm harping on the same scene, but the scene when they went to their separate bedrooms to go to sleep, like I know TLC or Sharp, whatever, they like to have, fancy production with like drones and shit like that, drone shots and whatever. But then they also had a shot in that scene where I guess they put a camera like above the door sill, like the door or whatever. So you see this like overhead shot of them like opening and closing the door. And so it was a very like produced shot of them
Yeah.
going to the room.
They wanted to make sure that you knew they were sleeping in separate rooms. Like they needed you to get that point across. Because
Yeah.
that was probably the only time she was like, I'll film with him here, but just one time. So they were like, we got to get all of the shots that we need for this to make sense today. Because she was like, he doesn't live here and I'd rather him not be here. So we can film, but just not in my house. That's probably how she felt.
Yeah, so it seemed like a very like produced shot when they went to their like rooms. It was like pl very planned.
I
It
mean, yeah.
wasn't like an organic thing, like, all right, good night, and I'm gonna go in my room, and then the cameraman follows them. It was more like very produced.
So Guillermo's 25 years old and he's just starting pilot school, which costs 60 grand, by the way. Did y'all know that pilot school costed 60,000? I mean, I knew it wasn't free. Don't get me wrong, but I've never priced it. Is that like, 'cause I guess college costs about 150,000. So I guess that's not that bad because being a pilot is a lifetime career. But how do y'all feel about him wanting to be a pilot? Would you get in an airplane that Guillermo is piloting? Like, how do you feel?
Not unless he had like 10 years of experience in the air.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't know. Like, I feel like pilots have a look about them. So when I look at a pilot, they look like a pilot. And when I look at Guillermo, he doesn't look like a pilot to me. And I know that's really racist and like ignorant of me to say, but like I don't know. I don't get pilot from him. Like I fly a lot, and
Yeah,
pilots.
like to be a pilot, you want a pilot. A lot of pilots, well, a lot of them are probably assholes, but that aside, they exude confidence, and you kind of have to exude confidence if you're gonna like fly people around the country and shit.
Maybe that's what it is. It's the confident. They're very confident and they're sure of themselves. And I feel like Guillermo is opposite of that. But I mean, he is just starting out, right? Like I know when you become a pilot, you have to have so many hundreds or thousands of flight hours before they'll let you fly passengers, right? I think you can fly cargo after so many hours, and then after like I don't know the minimum, so I don't want to say anything, but I know it's like a lot of different flight hours before they let you fly passengers, whatever.
Oh, you know what's interesting? I forget his name, and it's a whole like shtick. Well, it's like it was shtick, but then it became real. So not to like totally sidetrack us, but and I forget the guy's name, but I'm sure there's listeners out there. But there's this comedian that like as a joke, he said like I forget how it all started, but there was some comedian that was on like a late night show, and then as like a joke, he's like, I'm gonna my goal. Oh, you know what it was? Well, you know how like there's a thing in the Huts, the guy that landed the plane in the Hudson River, like successfully,
Hmm.
the emergency. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, like so there was a comedian where he's like, I wanna do that, but like I just want to fly like real people. Like I want to have a full plane of people, human. Like, this is a guy who's a comedian, not a pilot, but he basically like his goal in life was like kind of as a joke, but not as a joke because you can't really fly people as a joke. But he was like, my goal is to like fly a plane load of people and land it successfully. And then so basically he went to flight school just for the sole purpose of like he went to flight school, got licensed, whatever, did all the training, and then he basically got a full loaded plane, full of people, and like flew it and landed it like in the desert successfully. And then he called it like his version of like landing in the Hudson just because it was successful and he had limited experience. And he did it.
I mean, yeah, if you can do it, Sully is he's a legend,
Yeah.
right? Landed that plane in the Hudson, not one single person got hurt or died. So he's a legend. Oh, so I got the info, right? So become a commercial airline pilot, you need a minimum of 1,500 hours. So he would be really, really far away from becoming a commercial airline pilot. And
Mhm.
okay, so pilot's license is 40 hours in the air. That seems really low, Shabooty. I'm like, now I'm nervous that they're like giving people a pilot's license after 40 hours. That's like one work week. Okay, commercial um pilot certificate. I don't know what that means. 250 hours. And then an airline transport pilot, which is you can transport cargo. That's also 1,500. So I guess they it's equal. Cargo and people are equal. So 1,500 hours. So he would be really, really far away from making a lot of money as a pilot. I guess private pilots, commercial private pilots do make a decent amount of money, but you wouldn't you need your own plane? Because if you have to charter your own plane to pilot, then you would be losing some of your bottom line. So yeah, I don't know how much of a lucrative career this is for somebody because you got to put 60,000 into getting your flight school, is what Cara said, and then you got to have 1,500 hour requirement to fly commercial. So it seems like a good dream. I love flying, I love aviation, but I would never want to be a pilot. That type of stress, I don't think I would live long with that type of stress because one small tiny mistake, everyone's unalive. So that's the type of stress that I just don't want on a daily basis.
Yeah. And I don't know. But then like present day though, I don't think do we know if like Guillermo's still pursuing that or if it was just a storyline?
Well, I heard that he was in it for a while. Oh wait, I just read in an accelerated program you can get 1,500 hours in 2.5 years. So yeah, that's accelerated. So it takes 2.5 years before you would actually be able to fly for like United or American or Spirit. And that's after you go to flight school. So we're talking years. Like that's why I was like, usually people who become pilots, they start pretty early. Like they go to the army right out of high school and they fly for the army. So
Or
they
the,
start
or the Air Force.
yeah, so because those hours transfer when you fly in the Air Force, those hours count towards your 1,500. So because now starting this late, he would be 28, 29 before he would actually be able to get a job making money doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really suspect he's gonna be a legit pilot, not to sound like a negative thing.
No, yeah, no offense, but he doesn't like I told y'all, he don't seem like a pilot to me. And don't get me wrong, I don't know his intelligence level, but before he before he was in pilot school, he worked as a waiter at a restaurant. So that doesn't transfer to me. I feel like a pilot is like super intelligent. I'm not saying that waiters aren't, but like I just don't see him as a pilot. It's not ringing true to me.
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen with Guillermo is, yeah, he's like a decent looking dude, and he has like television fame, so he's gonna find a chick who's a fan of the show, who's he's gonna saddle up with, and that's basically it.
Yeah, and she's gonna work extra shifts so he doesn't have to work. But I think that's what he thought he had. I
Mhm.
thought Kara understood that he's a boy toy. He's something that you look at and you have to take care of him. He's never gonna take care of you. I thought she understood, but Kara thought that he was gonna step it up, and I was like, nah, I don't think that's what this ever was.
Yeah, that's definitely not what it was. So he's just basically gonna go back to the well, but this time he's gonna get with a 90 Day Fiance fan, and he's gonna do Car 2.0, and hopefully Car 2.0 won't will be, won't end up the same way, but who knows?
She better get two jobs. Oh, so
Hmm.
Darcy's about to be 50 years old on this episode. So that means she's already 50 years old. I didn't realize Darcy was going to be 50. Was anybody surprised that Darcy is at the big 50 or no, y'all knew that?
Well, this is a random crowbar, but guess who turned 50 today? Who's a rapper?
Wait.
50 Cent.
Yep.
Oh shit. Really? No way.
Yeah.
I saw it on my Instagram feed.
I never would have assumed he was 50 based on how petty he is on Twitter. I never would have assumed that this is a 50-year-old man. That's so wild. Can you imagine a guy that has been shot like so many times? He's still alive and kicking and being mean to people.
He- He's like a cat.
I know, right? Like he's got shot so many times. He's still around and he's still being petty. I still remember when he bought all the tickets to one of those, I think, Ashanti's concert, and then nobody showed up. He's like the pettiest man in the world. So I'm like a big fan, like for real, because I'm a very petty person. So I'm a huge fan.
True. All right, now let's get back to Darcy. Are we surprised that she's 50 years old? I feel like that's right for her.
I mean, yeah, she started the show in her 40s, right? So we had to know it was coming there, but for some reason I didn't realize. I
I think
thought,
it's more shocking that 50 Cent is 50 than Darcy's 50.
yeah, you're right. That is more shocking for some reason. Yeah, I mean, and she looks so much different too. Like she's not the same Darcy that we got to know on
Mhm.
the show. Also, Georgie's 37. For some reason, I thought that their age gap was a little bigger. Like they're not that far away in age.
Okay. True.
Yeah, but they're gonna be going to I think he's from Bulgaria. Is it Gina? Is it Bulgaria?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, we'll be heading to Bulgaria this season as well as Moldova, and they're going to be meeting his family for the first time and his parents. And Georgie wants her to dress a little less like a hoochie and more like covered up, and which I don't know, I think is a little disrespectful because he's with her and he fell in love with her the way she is. So to tell her to change who she is, I think is annoying. Also, it's a little odd to me that in the many, many years that over a decade they've been together, she's never met his family ever. I think that that's a little questionable, right? So, because some people on Twitter are saying that he's hiding her or he's embarrassed of her. Do y'all think that that might be the case?
And maybe he's waiting for her perfect post-plastic surgery face to introduce that face.
I mean, it has been 10 years and we have not found the perfect face yet, right? So, I mean, maybe he's waiting, but I guess the time is ticking now because this season, their storyline is based on his parents liking her, which I applaud the producers for actually nailing down a storyline for them because they didn't do that for Lauren and Alexi. But yeah, that's the storyline. That's what we're getting. And I wonder how much Stacy and Florian are going to be included in this because we had them on the last resort and they included Darcy and Georgie. So I was like, I wonder if it's going to be they're going to get included in this season as well. But so far, I didn't see many previews or anything with Stacy and Florian. So maybe not.
Yeah, then
Oh, Lord Jesus, this kid's got OnlyFans as well.
Who?
Georgie.
Oh yeah, he's always had it. As
Mhm.
far as when Darcy and Stacy's show was still airing, he was on OnlyFans.
It's
Well,
$5.99 a month.
but
Ladies, sign up.
that's the thing. Georgie is a boy toy, right? So Darcy is fully aware that if she wants a Birkin bag, he's not going to buy it for her. And she accepted that. And I think that, Guillermo is the same thing. Like if you want a G-Wagon, he ain't going to buy that for you. That's not the relationship you're in. And I think Darcy has fully accepted that she's with a 37-year-old toy that she gets to play with and show off and take places and take pictures with. And I think she's fully okay with that.
True. Speaking of like toys, let me crowbar this in before I forget. It's not related to the current topic, sorry. But what do you think of like Yara's plan to make a company that does luxury accessories for puppy dogs?
I mean, when she said that she doesn't have a dog, that's what caught me because I was like, because remember, this is the same exact thing that Julia was trying to do. Remember, wasn't Julia trying to do something with dogs?
Yeah, she was trying to do a thing like I forget what it's called, but it's like you pay like a subscription and then every month you get like a box in the mail with like different dog toys and shit.
Yeah, dog toys and shirts and stuff. So this isn't a new 90-day venture, but Julia has a dog. Cause I was like, that's basically like buying a tattoo shop, but you're not a first of all, you're not a tattoo artist and you don't have any tattoos. Like you have to have some tie to what you're selling to make it actually something that you're passionate about. So the idea that she wants to sell luxury dog accessories to dog owners and she's not even a dog owner, it kind of really solidifies the grift. And I don't want to say grift because she's selling it, but it's like you're basically just trying to make money off of people. You don't even care about what you're selling because you don't even know how it looks on a dog because you don't even have a goddamn dog. You just
Mhm.
want their money. And I was like, that's crazy to me.
And then in the interview segments, did you notice how Yara's face looked a little different?
It did. It was more defined and it had more rough edges. I don't know what's going on with her face. Guys, for real, I don't know. Her face was very smooth and she definitely didn't have that puffy look that a lot of women have after plastic surgery, but I don't know, it's getting a little rough around the edges now. So I don't know what's going on with her face.
She's probably had some work done to
Oh
be
no,
looking like that.
we know she's had work done because we saw when she was on that first show back in Russia. Wait, is it Russia? Where's she from? No,
Ukraine?
Ukraine, Ukraine. She was on some reality show in the Ukraine, and we saw what pre-surgery Yara looked like. So we know she's had work done, but she's always had a really nice, smooth. When Shekinah said she was going, she's like, I'm going for a more natural look. And I was like, the natural look is gone. You look like Pennywise.
Mhm.
Yara was definitely still in the natural look phase for a while. Now I'm beginning to think that phase might be gone.
Mhm.
Phase is gone.
That's sad though, because I liked what she did with herself. She looked great. You could tell that she had something done, but she still could say she could lie about it, right? She could lie. And if you didn't have those before pictures, you might not have caught her in that lie. But like now she might be past it. Like if she kind of told you, I've never had any work done, you'd be like, bitch, stop lying. But Yara could get away with it. But now I think that if she keeps going, she's not gonna even be able to lie anymore.
True. Oh, and then like again another crowbar, but like speaking of Shekinah, I did see it's not the full Amani diss track, but I did see I was privy to see like a preview video of the first like tw 20 seconds of
Oh, well, I haven't. So you're special.
it.
I would like for you to explain it in great detail because I have no idea. I've been like looking and I haven't been able to find anything. So can you at least give us a visual?
Well, if you want, what we could do is since it's like what we could do is for I could between now and Friday if we do show, I could send you the video and then you could like react for the Friday show.
Okay, yeah, let's do that
Okay,
because
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I was looking online and I was trying to find it because I was in the group chat. I was like, y'all, I'm trying to find this diss track and I can't find it. I
No,
can't get it.
Me too. I
I,
was just like, I ain't paying no $20. Fuck
it's
that.
like 10 or 20 seconds. It's like a preview, so it's only like 10 or 20 seconds long. But for what I watched, I'll say this, I got a kick out of it. And then I don't think it was in like the preview video, but like I think in the actual like full video, I hope she doesn't mind me like spoiling some of the details, but like there's gonna be like a Shekinah like
Look
like
alike.
yeah, like doppelganger look-alike, whatever, stunt double, and they
Oh,
make her look like have like a jigsaw cheeks and shit.
no way. Are you serious? So it's kind of like, remember when Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake were breaking up and he had this song called
Cry Me a River.
Cry Me a River. Oh, you know, Gina. And he had this chick in the video who was even wearing the little Britney fedora, and it was like a little. So basically, she's gonna get somebody to look like Shekinah and then make fun of her in the video. I'm actually excited about this. Like this is, I know this is petty, but I don't care. I still want to watch it. I want to see them go
We
at it.
like Petty.
I
We like
love
Petty.
Petty. Petty is my middle name. I told y'all I'm a 50 Cent fan. I love Petty.
Yeah, so that's shaping up to be good. I mean, I was telling her she should have like a Sarper lookalike, but I don't know if that's in the cards. But that was my recommendation to her.
I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, she did say that she likes Sarper though at the tell-all, so maybe she doesn't want to go back on her word because she did say at the tell-all, she's like, I don't have a problem with him whatsoever. It's just her. So maybe she's sticking with that.
True. Oh, by the way, I see Sophia is in here. Sophia, if you want to talk, let me know before we end the show. Um, but do any other? I feel like we hit all the bases for this first episode, though.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot because they fused a lot of the scenes together. So we basically got 5 scenes tonight because
I noticed. Sorry to interrupt. Like I noticed Big Ed was on Pillow Talk or some shit.
oh, I didn't watch. I didn't watch. So is this like who was he on with? Was it his mom?
No, I didn't, and I didn't watch it either. I just saw a preview, but
Oh, okay.
it was like who's the chick in Albany that's like a fitness chick now? The witch chick. Du-
Oh, Ashley.
yeah, Ashley. It was Ashley. It was
Ashley and
Emily.
Manuel. Was
Huh?
she Manuel?
I didn't see Manuel, but I saw Ashley. I saw Emily. I saw Kobe. I saw Patrick. I saw Thais. I saw Big Ed, and maybe one other person. That might be it.
Maybe Thais is doing pillow talk now because it used to be John.
Yeah, but it's like it was a group of them all sitting together. So
Oh, so it was like a special. So this isn't gonna be like every.
Yeah.
This was like a special.
yeah, it was like the 4th of July like special because they're wearing like
Okay. Now I got you. Now I got you. So yeah, this won't be like a recurring thing. So Ed is probably not a normal pillow talk cast member. This is just for their little special.
yeah.
I watch it. I watch it because I like Thais. I'm a Thais fan, so I watch anything that she's on. So because I was mad that she didn't do Pillow Talk because I wanted to see her on Pillow Talk because I like how she is. She's kind of petty. I like how she said crazy underhanded stuff about John. So I was wanting to see that. So I'll probably watch this episode and see if it's anything worth discussing for next episode.
True. And then before we end it, like Sophia, I gave you like co-host privileges. So if you would like to unmute yourself and say something, now's your opportunity. Otherwise, we'll probably end it because it's almost 1 a.m. on a school night.
It is a school night and it's late. Yeah, but it wasn't a Tom Cruise episode, Gina, right? I mean, we
It's not. It's not going to be. Let's face it, people. The only interesting cast members on here is the Gino, Jasmine, Matt situation that's going on.
yeah, that's like really messy and petty, and I'm all for it. And watching because I tweeted out, I was like, we're watching a show called Happily Ever After, where we're watching two broken up people date other people. It's like it doesn't get any more messy than that, right? It can't get any more messy. It would just be people throwing mud into each other's faces.
Yeah, that's why when I posted on Instagram, I called it Hell Ever After.
I mean, basically, and
You're not wrong.
you're not wrong. I mean, and look at Cara and Guillermo. Like we're basically watching the actual end of people's marriages, and unfortunately, guys, I'm enjoying it. Sorry, but I like the drama. I like to see the falling apart issues that people have, and I just want to see. Oh, before we end, Jasmine pushed Natalie at a pool hall. And a lot of people were saying, oh, this is crazy. Jasmine is pregnant. Guys, Jasmine wasn't pregnant when that was filmed. There's a timeline thing. So, yeah, we'll get into it later on the next episode that we do. But, yeah, Jasmine wasn't pregnant when she met Natalie. This was before they filmed The Last Resort.
True. Oh, and then I'll leave you with this little nugget. I don't know. You tell me if it's like interesting or not. But one thing I was surprised by when I met Gino is like I was surprised. I hope he doesn't mind me saying it. I don't think it's. I'm not gonna. I don't want to blow it up into a big deal. But I was surprised that he smokes cigarettes.
Huh. I've never seen him smoke on the show. So that's really interesting. Actually, no, I have seen people smoke. So I was like, maybe they don't allow people to smoke, but we've seen Angela smoke on the show. So
Angela's like a smoking ambassador for whatever brand she's Marlboro.
Mhm.
yeah, but yeah, it's interesting that he doesn't do it on the show because I would say because you know how on TikTok if someone smokes or vapes they'll ban them or whatever. They don't like you to do that. But they did let Angela smoke as anytime she wanted while she was filming. So yeah, that means he made a conscious decision to not do it on camera. So that means that he doesn't want people to know or he doesn't want people to see it, which is really interesting. I didn't know he did. Honestly, I had no idea.
Yeah, I was surprised. So that I wanted to end the show with that little nugget. So anyway, thanks for tuning in all the way to the end. So you learned that Gino fun fact.
Fun fact. Yeah, now you know. It's the more you know, guys.
True. Well, anyway, I think that's a good note to end it on. We did pretty long. So thank you everyone for listening to Happily Ever edition of 90 Day Fiance Fridays on a
It's on a Sunday.
Sunday.
peace out, everybody.
Peace out,
Good
everybody.
night.
Night.